Hey there guys, what's up? Welcome back to another World of Tanks episode, and today we're going to do a bit of reviewing on a tank that I had not really enjoyed really that much until recently. The VK45.02P Ausf B. You will find this tank in the German heavy tank tree line, coming from the Panzer IV-H. You cannot get it through the VK 30.01H or the DW2. You must go down either the new Panzer IV-A medium tank tree or the Panzer 38NA light tree. This comes after pretty steady good tanks. The Panzer IV-H, which I think is absolutely incredible. The VK 30.01P, which I think is an amazing medium tank. The Tiger Porsche, which is one of the strongest Tier 7 heavies for armor. VK 45.02A, much lighter in armor, but much better with angles and other things. And then you get to the VK 45.02B, the massive Tier 9 tank before the boss. You have 5 crew members. You have the commander, gunner, driver, radio operator, and loader, which is fairly standard for your German tanks, especially heavies. I have this thing now fully upgraded. I have enjoyed it a lot. I've been playing it recently very much since I've gotten this Top Gun, and it's pretty much a favorite tank of mine. I guess I should go on and explain how it plays. It's very unliked amongst most players because of the rear-mounted turret. You can't play it like other tanks. It's a very unique play style, especially after coming from a fast, mobile, heavy, which is almost a medium, the VK 45.02A. 1950 hit points, 79-ton tank. It means you're with this equipment, so it means you can get up almost close to 80 tons of tank. Very good for hitting things. When you ram something in this, they know it. 840 brake horsepower engine, which is not a very good weight to engine power ratio. Only a 30 km/h speed limit, which means it's going to be going pretty slow. 20 traverse speed, which is horrible. But then you get to the good parts of the tank, the armor, and it'll be even better next update. But currently we are in 9.1, not 9.2. So if you're watching this after 9.2, stop here and go on to the gameplay, because it's just not worth watching. So I've had some pretty good games in this, and it's a boss if you play it right. It's a beast if you play it right, actually. With 170 millimeters here, 150 here, and here. This little gun port thing, machine gun port, is 150, but well-rounded. 150 on the bottom. Next update, it will be 200 millimeters here, and 200 millimeters here, meaning that this is a beast of a tank. Now, this is approximately a 55-degree angle on both the upper and lower glacis. Then you get to the poor side and rear armor of this tank. 100 millimeters on the side, 100 millimeters on the rear. Compared to the front, this is, well, nothing. But angled correctly, and your side armor is an auto ricochet. You cannot penetrate the side armor correctly if you angle it correctly. No matter how high of a caliber gun you have, no matter how much penetration you have. Its turret armor is also fairly strong, fully upgraded, 252 at the front, 160 at the side, 160 at the rear. Your major weak points of this tank are right here. Not that, sorry, wrong button. Happens a lot. Right here, your viewports as for normal, and this plate right here. Only 50 millimeters of armor, very well angled, but only 50 millimeters of armor. If you get fighting something like a T-30 or a T-34 or something like that, they will pen this fairly readily because of their height. I have this fully upgraded, so I have the 12.8 KWK gun. Give me a second, I just screwed up my XVM stuff. Which fires very high caliber round, 12.8, same gun as the E75, very high penetration, decent damage rolls. Average pen, 246. I mean, that just can wreck most tanks. 311 with gold, round 65 with HE. 490, 490, 630. You're gonna be doing a lot of damage with this tank at tier 9 and 10 battles. So this thing can decimate an entire team fairly rapidly with a 13-second reload. Just under 13 seconds with how I have it set up. So I have 105%. I have 100% crew on this tank. I have almost all of my repair, almost everybody on repairs, except for my commander, who I put 6 cents. And then I'm working on Brothers in Arms currently. Sorry. For equipment, I would suggest definitely putting on large caliber tank gun runner. You need that. The vertical guns, the vertical stabilizer, because it is usable, and I suggest putting this on. If you really are worried about that artillery, put on the super heavy. And if you don't want to be, and you can put on a enhanced gun light drag, but it's really not worth it. The aim time's decent on this tank. The improved vents will help your entire crew out. Your aim time with this gun is 2.9, which is fairly rough for a tier 9 tank, honestly, and it's not that accurate. So I mean, I can see not wanting to use this like this. 0.38, that's pretty poor, and 2.9 aim time is pretty poor as well, so you're not going to be sniping with this. But what this tank is good for is holding corners. You don't want to be going anywhere but holding a corner with this thing. You sit on a corner and you wait for them to come. You don't want to be pushing to them. Because of that weak lower glacis armor, and your comparatively, and your very weak side and rear armor, and the fact that your turret is in the back, you want to be using your frontal armor, hiding that lower glacis, and angling as most German tanks do, so even if they do hit the lower glacis, it's more likely to bounce than to penetrate, especially from tall tanks. The sides you want to keep at about, well, this angle. You want to have your gun pointed directly at this corner. If you point your gun directly at this corner, every single shot will bounce off your side, and 99% of the shots will bounce off your front. Very rarely will you get a shell go through here. Most of the time they'll be aiming here or here. You really, if you can, want to angle off the corner where the corner is on your right, then on your left, because your right does not have that huge weak spot right here. It may not look big, but to tier 9 TVs, it's big. Now then, again, 3.82 rate of fire, not that great. 13.25 second reload. 18 turret traverse speed, very slow. And its gun depression is poor. You cannot shoot very low, which makes sense. You cannot shoot below, through your tank. But it's just very poor compared to the E75. It's very, very poor. But it does have some advantages and disadvantages over the E75, which I cannot compare because I've never played the E75. So if you really want to find a good player who can who's played both the VKB and the E75, look up Quickie Baby if you haven't heard of him already, and he may be able to. His stuff may be pretty good to show you. 408 view range for me, but it's 400 meters stock. And a 710 signal range, which is pretty good, it's pretty standard. 400 view range and 710 signal range is pretty standard for tier 10 tanks. So, yeah, that's pretty much all I can tell you about this tank without showing you some gameplay. So, let's get right into it. Alright, we are back, and this is my first battle being fully upgraded in the VK45.02P Ausf B. And at first I'm like, okay, yeah, I'll go town. And I'm like, nah, that'll be fine in town. There's plenty of tanks. So, I'm one of two tier 9s. This is a very good matchup for me. Only a 52% win rate, though. But their tier 9s suck, and our tier 9s are pretty good. But theirs are British, so you never know what to expect. Me and the Yog Tigers say, let's roll the valley. I just tell people I'm not going to make it to the city. I'm too slow. I understand this. Nobody else gets it. They start complaining pretty soon here. But I understand what my capabilities are and my tank's capabilities. And I decide that I will never make it to the town. Going straight for it, I'll get destroyed before I even start, even get there. So, as we can see, there's already a T-43 there. There's a Comet in the middle. Seems like a pretty standard game here. There's an AT-15 sitting back at the cap. And I'm sitting here. This is my first game with the Top Gun. I am elated. I am ecstatic. I'm the happiest I've ever been in my life, kind of a thing. And, what else can you expect? We're ahead. We're 1-1 here. We've lost a T-20, but we took out their T-43. Yes, their T-43. So we've each lost a tier 7 tank. And here I come cresting the hill. All I see is a tiger. He damages my track. He's not going to pen me. I understand this, so I just keep pushing. He doesn't understand this. He tries to take another shot. Ping! Right off my armor. I understand that he will never penetrate my armor. And then, of course, here it is. Right here. Read the chat. Dan Valley Lemmings, you just can't help yourself, can you? I mean, just why? We've not lost the game. It's 2-2. Sorry I wouldn't have made it to, I even say, sorry I wouldn't have made it to town, would have died from the snipers. I know how this tank plays, I know how its armor rate is. It's just not going to survive very long in a full frontal assault from multiple tanks and multiple enemies, multiple directions. It just can't handle it. Now I see there are now 3 tanks, a Centurion 7-1, a T-25-2, and a previously survived Comet. Now it is dead. Those T-25-2s on the bridge line back here at the J789 line, or J8, J9, are made short work of one of their tanks, and we are now rolling around. Finally, this Yog Tiger's catching up. Comet's well ahead of me. And I decided to try and take some sniping shots here. See how accurate this gun is. It's not. It's not an accurate gun. I didn't realize this, but I decided to try my hand at sniping anyway. So I did. I didn't realize that there's a T-25/2 up here. And there he is. But I ignore him. Go straight for this tier 9 tank. Conqueror starts messing up our AMX 5100. I aim where I think he's going to be. He stops, and then my shell loads, and boom! There goes their best tank. First kill. Already at 1500 damage. 3 shots. All right, so take another aim shot. Bounce off T-32's turret, and I get penned in the side. Instantly, I re-angle my arm. T-25/2 in the middle is gone. Get taken. My radio operator is taken out by the T-29. Lucky shot. He had. Oh yes, that's right. He must have been loading gold. I remember that now. Anyway, I loop a shell underneath that Conqueror's gun. Knock out the. Take out another guy. And as you can see here, 8-10. I'm at near full health. They have an artillery. They have even their artillery at the cap, while our artillery is sitting back here. This T-2858T, remember him. All these tanks, remember them. Tier 9, Tier 7. Let's go. So this T-25AT is moving up. The Yog Tiger decides to go YOLO. And actually, I kind of want to see where that T-29 pinned me in the front. Yes, he happened to barely glance at my lower glacis. So, I guess he did happen to hit a weak point from that far away, which I think is bullcrap. But anyway, they are already at 77%, 78. They are capping quick and reset. Barely. Thank you, Yog Tiger, for the small reset. And watch this. Yog Tiger just gets decimated. He takes half of his health in 2 shots. I don't remember what I'm doing here. I think I'm typing. I don't know why I'm not moving or anything, but I think I may have been AFK for a second or something. I don't know. But either way, KB4, bounce my first shell. This happens. I mean, it just does. It's KB4. What do you expect? He's got enough armor to last to weather the storm. Now, I say screw this KB4. Now I move up. I get my fuel tank knocked out and get set on fire by this T-25 too. Now, I'm thinking, who's my biggest threat here? Neither the IS-6 nor the T-25-2 can penetrate my frontal armor. I am not worried. I just come straight in, ram him for over 100 damage, wait for my shell to reload, take a shot in the rear from the IS, I don't care. Take out that guy. IS scared now, he backs off. Now, I'm the only tank left besides an artillery piece versus 3 heavy tanks. The IS-6, Tiger 2, and an IS. Remember that IS. As you can see, our T-25/2 has died, AT has died, our Yog Tiger has died, and all of our rest of our support has died. I have now taken out an IS-6, I'm at 3 kills. Getting fired HE at from a Tiger 2. This Tiger 2 has a 9.1 second reload, I'm not too worried about it. Plonk a nice shell into his lower glacis, get my track damaged. My other track damaged, note. And now the Tiger 2 has this intelligence to begin moving. Too late. Now, it's just me and the IS. I know where he was last spotted, and he was last spotted running away. Comet says GG VK. Thank you. I'm at 4 kills, 3.8k damage. That IS is 2 shots for me. Let's see what happens. So I first push up to see if I can spot him. Oh yes, I remember now. I had to leave for something really quickly, so I was trying to get him to come out so I didn't have to sit there and die. That's why I had stopped earlier. So, I'm sitting here, waiting for this IS, and here he comes. First shell, donkeys. Just absolute. I facepalm. I just am like, well then. I just completely donkeyed off of a IS. Go me. Now, I've donkeyed off of his lower plate, yes, but I donkeyed off of an IS. And there's my penetrating shot. 414 damage roll. He's like, at least kill him before you leave. Our friend. And I've got 3, 2, 1. He's hiding. Donkey off his lower plate again. I realize now, wait a minute. This guy doesn't have Top Gun. What am I doing? You know, I see that right there is when I notice this guy doesn't have Top Gun. I'll wait to see if I get a shot. No, he's just gonna hide behind the dead tank. Okay, screw it. I am done playing games. Goodbye, IS. GG. 5-kill game. This is my first game using the VK 45.02B fully upgraded. let's look now. Then let's look at some post-game stats. And here are the post-game stats. Ignore the little blue thingies that might pop up randomly. It's something that's screwed up with my internet. Anyway, this was my mastery badge in this tank, my first mastery badge. Steel wall, high cal, first of any of these medals I'd gotten in this tank. It was a super Unicum battle, 9,744 win 8. I did so much damage, it's not even funny to the enemy team. Let me go to the team score. Oh, look at this. 5,000 damage dealt, 12,000 base experience, and almost 20,000 with a premium account. And made 22k credits because of, even though I used an auto fire extinguisher, because of premium account. Without the premium account, I would have lost 1,000 off that battle still. And made over 2k experience, almost 2k experience. This was an amazing battle for me. This was, again, the first game that I had with this thing fully upgraded, and honestly, I don't know where this battle came, how I did this battle, how I won this battle, except for some lucky donkey shots from the enemy team, some lucky donkeys from the enemy team, and some good shooting on my part, and on my Yogg Tiger. I'm not going to take all the credit for this battle. My Yogg Tiger friend did a great, stop popping up. Sorry. My Yogg Tiger friend, I am not going to lie, he did a great job this battle. If this would stop glitching out like this. There it is. I mean, my Yogg Tiger friend, I will admit it. He got 4 kills, did over almost 4k damage, and got 913 experience, 5,100, 2,400 something damage. 889 experience tank sniper. I mean, it wasn't just me, but that was definitely a strong game carry from me and this Yogg Tiger at the very end of the game. Now, you could say, oh, you were just cleaning up dead tanks. No, I wasn't. I was hitting tanks. I hit 15 of my 18 shells, 13 of those penetrated. The only ones that didn't penetrate were those 2 on the IS. I took 24 hits, only 8 of which penned, and 16 non-penned. Damage blocked by armor, almost 5k. Damage received, only 1k. Potential damage received, over almost 6,000. Detected 1 enemy, damaged 7, destroyed 5. Again, I can't stress enough how good of a tank this is. And I hope you all can understand now why I love this tank. I'll be doing more replays and random stuff that comes from this tank that are just good, and I can't not upload. But you know, I really enjoy this tank. This is, again, my favorite tank right now. My favorite heavy right now, actually. Even though I have things like I have the T-29. I have tanks that are pretty powerful, but there's just nothing like the satisfaction of seeing a meaty shell of 560 damage, up to 600 damage, slam into an enemy tank and knock them off their heels. So, and then they hit you back and bounce because they just cannot penetrate your armor. So again, I hope you guys enjoy this, and I hope this helped you guys see the good parts of the VK45.02B P Ausf B. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please leave a comment. Tell me what you think of this tank. Tell me what other tanks you want me to review, personally. And if I have them, I will review them. And I'll probably do at least 50 to 100 battles on them, fully upgraded, before I do a review on them. Try and get some good games in them. There's some other tanks that I want to review, but need to purchase back before I can do that. So thank you again. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please like this video, share it to your friends, let other people know who I am. I'm a pretty new YouTuber here. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and it'll